All right, so this is going to be Quiz 5 study guide. There are 15 questions. So question number 1 will say something like name and angle. Supplementary. Supplementary to, in this case, it's BOE. And what you got to remember, do you remember what supplementary means? That's not good.
Yeah, it means 180.
Supplementary means sums 180. So in this diagram,
Angle bow.
AOB and CD. Okay, if supplementary means sums 180, you need something supplementary to BOE. Well, you have to find BOE first, and it's right here. B down to O and over to E. BOE is this angle. Supplementary to that angle would be something that was next to it or with it that formed a straight line. So this right here, this blue angle, would be supplementary to BOE. So that's angle BOC. You could also call it angle COB. But remember, supplementary means that it sums 180 or forms a straight line. Number 2, complementary. To angle DOC. This little half of a red square means 90 degrees. And this is B up here, A and E. Okay, complementary to DOC. So identify DOC, which is right here. DOC. And complementary, that means sums 90 degrees. So an angle that's complementary to DOC would be COB. All right, this angle right here. Because the two of them, the blue one plus the red one, equals 90 degrees. And that's because on the left-hand side of BO, you have a 90-degree angle, which means the right-hand side is also a 90-degree angle. Number 3, ask you for something vertical to FGI. All right, remember vertical means opposite. Opposite of. So vertical to FGI. Find FGI first. It's right here. Okay? The angle that is opposite of that one. All right, look. just extend the lines through this vertex. So opposite of that one is going to be this blue one right here. This blue one right here. Okay, you see how those two are opposite of each other? They're formed by the same lines, the intersection of the same lines. All right, so vertical to angle FGI would be angle EGH. All right, it's also angle HGE. The G has to be in the middle though, because that's the vertex. DFI. Okay, in the very next question, I'm going to leave this diagram up here because number 4 says to name an angle adjacent to angle DGE. Adjacent to DGE. Adjacent means next to. So find DGE first, which is right here, DGE. It's that purple angle. It's got 2 angles. It's got a bunch of angles next to it, doesn't it? All right, does everybody see that? It's got, I'm running out of colors, but it's got this top angle, DGE, has DGF next to it. It has DGI next to it. It has EGH next to it. And it's got EGJ next to it. Does everybody see that? So any of those could be correct. And it's going to be a multiple choice quiz. So just make sure that you know that adjacent means, right? It means next to. Shares a vertex. And a side. Shares a vertex and a side. Number 5. The complement of an angle is 31 degrees. What is the angle? Complementary means sums 90, right? So if the complement of an angle is 31, what is the angle? You take 90 and you subtract 31. And 90 minus 31 is 59 degrees. Number 6. DFG and JKL are complementary. DFG equals x plus 1. And JKL equals x minus 3. Find the measure of each angle. Complementary means sum's 90. So look, you've got an angle, right? Plus another angle. And it's got to equal 90 degrees. So here's one of your angles, which is x plus 1. The other angle is x minus 3. And they have to equal 90. So you can combine your like terms, and you got x plus x, which is 2x. And then 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2, and that's got to equal 90. So if you add 2 to each side, 2x equals 92, and then you can divide both sides by 2. And x is going to equal 46. But that's not the question. The question is to find each angle. So if this first angle is x plus 1 and x is 46, what's that angle measure?
47.
That's 47.
That was 42.
And the other one is x minus 3. So 46 minus 3 is 43. Number 7. Angle 1, x plus 71, and angle 2, that equals, I'm sorry, angle 2 is the x plus 71. Angle 1 is equal to x minus 13. Are a linear pair. Find each angle. Okay, so again, you got angle 1 plus angle 2. And what do they have to equal if they're a linear pair? They form a line. So they got to sum 180. So your angle 1 is your x minus 13. Your angle 2 is x plus 71. All right, combine like terms. So your x plus x is 2x again. And then you got negative 13 plus 71. So 2x plus 58 equals 180. All right, so subtract 58 from each side. And 2x equals 122. Divide both sides by 2. $61. All right, now answer A might be 61 or something like that, but that's not the question. Find each angle. So up here, you got to go 61 minus 13. So 61 minus 13. There's your first angle.
48.
So 48 is one of the angles. And then 61 plus 71 is the other angle. So those are your two angles. Number 8. Angle A and B are a linear pair. If, look, this means, this lowercase m script means the measure of angle A equals this right here, this 4 measure angle B means 4 times the measure of angle B. Find A and B. So it's the same as the last problem. You've got an angle plus another angle equals, they're a linear pair, so they have to sum 180. A and B are a linear pair. If A equals 4 times B, all right, so look, call this angle A, call this angle B. All right? Angle A equals 4 times the measure of angle B. You can call angle B whatever you want. Call it X. And if you call it X, you got to call A 4X. 4 times X. It's 4 times as big. So you got 4X plus X equals 180, so 5X equals 180. Divide by 5. X equals 36. So one of your angles is 36 degrees. And the other angle is 144. Number 9 says to find the distance between two 7 and 4 6. So this is a review from last week. If you plot it on the coordinate plane, you got your first point at 2 7. Second point is at 4 6. If you connect those two, and then you can turn it into a right triangle. Your horizontal leg goes from 2 to 4 on the number line, so it goes 2 units. Your vertical leg goes from 6 to 7, so it goes 1 unit. So you can find this hypotenuse by using the Pythagorean theorem. So 1 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. So 5 equals c squared. Square root of 5 is equal to c. 2.2. Number 10. You're given a rectangle and you're asked to find the perimeter. This is a tough one. This is 31 and 64. Find the perimeter. Okay, so P, perimeter of a rectangle, equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. 2 length plus 2 width. So the perimeter is equal to 2 times 64 plus 2 times 31. 2 times 64 is 128. 2 times 31 is 62. Perimeter of that shape is 190. All right, number 11. Here's what the question boils down to. Brian is fencing his garden. He's going to fence his 31 by 43 garden. If he puts a 3-foot walkway around the garden, and he's going to fence that part too, okay? If he puts a 3-foot walkway around the garden and fences it also, how much fence will he need? Okay, the best thing to do on this problem every time you see it, because I've seen this problem a bunch of times, is to draw a picture of it. So it's a rectangle, right? You got this rectangular garden. You got this rectangular garden. It starts off, it's 31 by 43. But he's going to put a fence around it, right? I'm sorry, he's going to put a walkway around it. The walkweed's going to the walkweed's going to be 3 feet wide. So look, he's got 3 feet here, doesn't he? And he's got 3 feet here. And he's got 3 up here, and he's got 3 down there. And he fences all of that in. He didn't make the fenced area 3 feet bigger, did he? He made it 6 feet bigger. So his new length, right, it goes from here to here. So it's 43 plus 3 on the right and 3 on the left. So it's 49. And his new width, you got 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. So you got 31 plus 6 is 37. So this is a perimeter problem. So his fencing or his perimeter is going to be equal to 2 times 49 plus 2 times the 37. So 2 times 49 is 98 plus 2 times 37, 74. So perimeter equals 74 plus 98, 172. He would need 172 feet of fencing. Please remember, when he puts a 3-foot sidewalk around the gardens, you gotta add 3 to the, or you gotta add 3 to both sides, top and bottom, and left and right. Number 12 asks you to find the circumference. Find the circumference, and they give you a circle. It says use 3.14 for pi. So look, we're going to say that circumference C equals 2 pi r, or you can use pi times diameter. You can use either dimension. And here's the picture. So are you given the radius or are you given the diameter? You're given the radius. So use the radius formula. Okay? 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 22. $138.16. Is your circumference. Number 13. Find the perimeter. Of triangle ABC when A is at -3, -4, and B is at 0, -4. C is at -3, 0. So if you plot it, A is at -3, -4. So -3 and -4. B is at 0, -4. Okay, so here's A. Here's B at 0, -4. And C is at -3, 0. -3, 0 right there. There's C. So if you connect these dots, or vertices, it's going to form a right triangle. And the length of the vertical leg, it goes from -4 to 0. So that's 4. The horizontal leg goes from -3 to 0. So it's 3. Now, you need the perimeter. You need the sum of the sides. So you need this third side. So you're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. And that's 4 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. And 16 plus 9 equals c squared. 25 equals c squared. Square root of 25 equals c. So 5 equals c. And I guarantee you, answer A on your quiz is going to be 5. But that's not the question, is it?
Nope.
The question isn't how long is the third side, it's what is the perimeter. So the perimeter is equal to 4 plus 3 plus 5. All right, so the perimeter is equal to 12. Number 14. If the perimeter of a square is 1/16, what is the area? So you've got a square. In a square, all the sides are the same, aren't they? If all the sides are the same, and it's 116 all the way around it, how would you find one of the sides? Divided by 4. So if you take 116 and you divide it by 4, it equals 29. So that means each side is 29. Now the formula for the area of a square, the area of a square is equal to one of the sides squared. So in this case, the area is going to equal 29 squared. So the area is equal to 841. And one more. Number 15. In number 15, you've got a square with a circle inside of it. And I can't draw this very good. It's going to be a circle inside of it. All right, that's a circle. Pretend that's a circle. Find the area. That is inside the square. But outside the circle. Inside the square, but outside the circle. So if you were to take a highlighter and highlight that, you're looking for this, aren't you? All right? So, there's one other piece of information. Circle diameter equals 18. Okay? So look what you do here. Wouldn't the area of the square, minus the area of the circle, if you took the area of the square and subtracted the area of the circle, wouldn't that leave you the area of the shaded? Or wouldn't that be the area of what's inside the square and outside the circle?
Yeah.
It's the difference in the two shapes, right? So look, if the diameter of the circle is 18, remember that diameter goes all the way across through the center, doesn't it? So that's 18, which tells you how big this square is, because it's going to be the same dimension. So your area of your square is going to be equal to one of the sides, which is 18, squared. The area of the circle is going to be pi times the radius. If the diameter is 18, what's the radius? 9. Okay, area of a circle, that's pi times radius squared, so 9 squared. So your 18 squared is 324. Now, when you do this circle one, please square the 9 first. 9, x squared button, times, you can use the pi button, equals 254.5. So the difference in those two areas, the area of the square minus the area of the circle, that's going to be a 324 minus 254.5. 69.5. So here's your area of shaded. Sorry, it's already right there. See it?